Autumn in Chicago usually brought crisp air and the promise of Halloween festivities. But in 1982, a dark cloud descended upon the city, one not even the approaching holiday could dispel. It began with whispers, then escalated to full-blown panic as seemingly unconnected deaths shook the community. The common thread? Extra-strength Tylenol. A sense of dread settled over Chicago as the realization dawned. Someone was deliberately poisoning over-the-counter medication. The fear was palpable, spreading like wildfire as people emptied their medicine cabinets, terrified of what they might find. No one knew who would be next. The Chicago Tylenol murders weren't just a local tragedy, they became a chilling reminder of the vulnerability of everyday life. The very products designed to heal and comfort had been twisted into instruments of death, leaving people questioning the safety of their homes and the systems meant to protect them. The idea that a commonplace act like taking a headache remedy could prove fatal sent shockwaves across the nation. The victims of the Chicago Tylenol murders were ordinary people leading ordinary lives, their paths tragically converging through a single deadly product. 12-year-old Mary Kellerman was the first victim, succumbing to the poisoned Tylenol on September 29, 1982. Her death, initially attributed to natural causes, took on a horrifying significance as more victims emerged. Adam Janus, a postal worker, died later that same day, followed by his brother Stanley and sister-in-law Teresa, who had taken Tylenol from the same bottle. The death toll continued to rise. Mary McFarland, Paula Prince, and Mary Reiner, all falling prey to the cyanide-laced capsules. Their deaths, occurring within days of each other, painted a grim picture of a killer, or killers at large. The victims' families were left grappling with unimaginable loss, their grief compounded by the shocking and senseless nature of the crimes. In the wake of the Tylenol poisonings, all eyes turned to Johnson & Johnson, the pharmaceutical giant behind the popular pain reliever. The company faced a public relations nightmare of unprecedented proportions. Their product, once a staple in medicine cabinets across the country, was now synonymous with fear and distrust. To their credit, Johnson & Johnson responded swiftly and decisively. They immediately halted Tylenol production, pulled millions of dollars worth of product from shelves nationwide, and offered replacements for any purchased Tylenol capsules. This aggressive and transparent approach, while costly, demonstrated a commitment to public safety that helped to restore some consumer confidence. Johnson & Johnson's handling of the crisis became a textbook example of corporate responsibility in the face of tragedy. The investigation into the Chicago Tylenol murders was one of the largest and most complex in American history. Local, state, and federal agencies joined forces, launching a frantic search for those responsible. Leads poured in, each one meticulously pursued, but the killer, or killers, remained elusive. One of the most prominent figures in the investigation was James William Lewis, who sent an extortion letter to Johnson & Johnson demanding $1 million to stop the killing. Despite maintaining his innocence in the poisonings, Lewis was convicted of extortion and served over a decade in prison. His involvement, if any, in the actual murders remains a subject of debate to this day. Other suspects emerged over the years, some investigated and dismissed, others investigated and convicted of crimes related to the case, but not the murders themselves. The investigation, while yielding valuable information, never definitively answered the question of who poisoned the Tylenol capsules and why. The Tylenol murders led to a significant shift in how consumer products were packaged and secured. In response to the tragedy, Johnson & Johnson introduced tamper-evident packaging, which became a standard across the industry. This innovation included features like seals and breakable caps, making it immediately obvious if a product had been tampered with. The changes didn't stop there. The federal government quickly passed the Tylenol bill, making it a federal offense to tamper with consumer products. These measures were designed to restore public trust and prevent such a devastating event from happening again. Ultimately, the Tylenol murders not only changed the pharmaceutical industry, but also heightened awareness about product safety and consumer protection. Despite the extensive investigation and the changes that followed, many questions about the Tylenol murders remain unanswered. Who was behind the poisonings? What was their motive? And why were they never caught? These lingering mysteries have kept the case in the public eye for decades. The case has inspired numerous theories and speculations, with some suggesting that the perpetrator might have had a personal vendetta, while others believe it was a random act of terror. The lack of closure has only fueled public fascination, making the Tylenol murders one of the most enduring unsolved cases in American history. Even after all these years, the desire for answers persists. The case serves as a chilling reminder of the impact of such a heinous act and the importance of vigilance in ensuring public safety. The Chicago Tylenol murders left an indelible mark on the nation. They changed the way we think about product safety, led to significant legal reforms, and remain a haunting, unsolved mystery. While we may never know who committed these terrible acts, the legacy of the Tylenol murders continues to influence how we protect and trust the products we use every day. The investigation, the innovations in packaging, and the enduring questions all serve as a testament to the resilience and determination of those who sought to bring justice and safety to the public. The story of the Tylenol murders is a stark reminder of the fragility of trust and the lengths to which we must go to preserve it. Thank you for joining us on this journey through one of the most perplexing and impactful events in American history.